Alright mate, so how's it going? You good, yeah?
It's going well, it's going well.
So you want to tell us what you do for a living?
Yeah, so I go to film school, a little school called LSA, London Screen Academy in Highbury and Islington.
Okay.
It's new, it was founded, I think, it was founded like last year, sometime in April, but then it opened in September.
Right.
And it's free.
Okay.
And they just offer anyone in sixth form age, 16 to 18, like the opportunity to learn about film and learn about how to make films and the different pathways in it. You can act if you want, but they don't do classes on acting because it's film school.
So acting and going into film is what you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what drew you to that sort of industry?
Well, before that, I wanted to be an actor. I just wanted to act, but like when they were talking about the whole the whole business of acting, how you're just going to be doing auditions and bouncing around, that didn't appeal, and I didn't want to be like selected. So I thought, well, why be selected when I can make a film and cast myself?
Right. So you basically want to, like, in the future, in the near future, make your own film projects.
Yeah, that's
write your own scripts and everything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you got a particular that you don't? Do you want to give it away?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your?
I mean, I'll give as much as I can away without like spoiling anything.
Yeah.
So I like Western films a lot.
Right.
And obviously it's kind of hard to film a Western in England because that's like the opposite kind of environment to film in. So I had to find like tall forests because that's kind of the only location that England and that area in America has in common.
Sure.
And I found one outside of London, a small one. I can't exactly remember what it's called. I have to find it in my notes. But
Epsom.
I think it might be
Epping.
Yeah, that was it. Epping.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a really nice place. They've got all sorts of trees. They've got little streams everywhere. And I went up there, did a little scout to try and find some inspiration, and I just got home and started writing a script. And it was great. And I don't like the cheesy, like the Western films where people do the whole sort of thing. I don't like them. So I wanted to make a darker one, and that's what it'll be. I haven't decided on a title yet, so I don't know. I can't exactly say a title now, but hopefully people watching this find it.
Why a Western?
Western? I don't know.
That's a specific.
It is really specific. I don't know why. I don't know. I've thought about it for ages and ages. Why do I like Westerns? I don't know.
Did you watch a lot of Western films growing up?
Not growing up, only recently.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I generally don't know. I've thought about it for ages. It's the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. I don't know. I generally don't know why.
And so is acting something that you've always dreamt of since you was a kid?
Yeah, all the time. Because when I was like kind of younger, when I was like 12, 13, I wasn't very confident. I had anxiety issues. Abbott knows I was at school. I couldn't do exams because I got too stressed out and I had to walk out the room and I was shaking and crying and stuff. And I just wanted to be confident. That was one of the things I wanted to do. Walking in front of people, like there's nothing more confident than stepping out in front of people and doing something and them respecting you for that. Go out and do some dramatic scene. It could be funny, it could be dramatic, as I said. And then like people respect you for that, and that's why I like acting. I like walking out in front of people, doing a scene, and then them going, wow, that was good. I like that. I like that. And so from when I was very anxious and nervous as a young'un to now, I think that's why.
What do you think of British cinema, or are you more into American cinema?
I think both sides have like the good and bad points, because you have good American films, but then you've got the cheesy like popcorn flick films that some people like, some people don't like. And then in British films you've got, I don't like those the cheesy Victorian films where everyone's got like a stiff upper lip and everyone's
Dawson Abbey.
Yeah, Downton Abbey. Yeah. They're not for me. I don't like.
Not your cup of tea, no?
They're not my cup of tea. I mean, that's what they'd say in the film, but yeah,
right.
It's not my cup of tea because they're too.
A lot of it is age oriented as well, isn't it?
Like, a lot of them for loads of elderly people enjoy it.
Because I mean, get a lot of 20-something watching now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know a lot of elderly people now didn't grow up in like the 1910s. Most people are dead from that era, but still, like when they grew up in the 40s and the 50s, it's probably a very similar environment to what they experienced, to what Downton Abbey is, or depending on obviously class range.
Right.
If they were poor in the 40s, they might have not.
Right. And you yourself being an aspiring filmmaker, what do you think of like indie films and how important they are to the industry?
Very important. Very important. Really important. I mean, obviously, technically, if you're a student filmmaker and you're producing a film, it's an indie film because it's like it's a little art house film. Barely anyone knows about it. It's an indie film, and so I guess I'd be making an indie film, and it kind of sounds like tooting my own horn a bit, but yeah, if I'm making an indie film and everyone else is making an indie film that's like outside of Hollywood, then they're important because I don't know, but I think they might be more indie films than actual big Hollywood films, because if you think about the amount of people in Hollywood and the amount of people who are learning film in the rest of the world, I think the amount of people learning film outside of Hollywood must be greater. It must be larger somehow. And yeah, I think they're totally important, especially to get like, you know, get the little guy's voice across, not the big wig who's sitting in their office rich in Beverly Hills, but get the person who's grown up in, I don't know, whatever city, get their point across, to get their view across, to get their voice across on film. I think that's important.
And as a person who both not only writes his own screenplays but also acts in it, how difficult is it to get into the industry as both an actor and a screenwriter, or one of the two?
It is.
Is it a tough industry to get into, to crack?
I've heard, yeah. I mean, I'm only in the beginning stages, so I've not like entered the industry properly yet, but I imagine that when I get to, you know, the stages where I have to try harder, it'll be difficult. It'll be really difficult. But I'm trying not to worry about that. I'm trying to just, you know, imagine that I'm getting ahead at the moment. I don't know if that's the best mindset. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's comfortable for me and it works for me at the moment. So I'm just trying that out.
And have you been in any such films or TV shows?
It's funny you say that. Well, like, do you count student films?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, well, yeah, I was telling, again, sorry, you can't see him on camera, but I was telling Abby, the last week I was shooting a film at my friend's house. It wasn't my film, but he asked me if I could act in it. And I said, yeah, and it's, you know, those, I think it's in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, there's some scene where like they have a party and they wake up all hungover and they have to clean up before their mum gets home in a rush.
Sure.
That's the plot of the film.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's called The Motive.
Okay.
If you find it on YouTube somewhere, I don't know if you want to see it, you probably will.
The Motive, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll be sure to leave a link in the description.
Yeah, it'll be finished editing in October.
Right.
But yeah, either way, it's a good film.
Cool. And is there like any other way you want to finish up, or like any? What would you say the industry needs to do to change? Like, do they like need to like make changes to, you know, the new age that we're in?
Yeah, I think the industry needs to be more accepting of people's views and people's voices. They're too concentrated. They think if something isn't the way that they've done it before, then it's not good. They need to be more accepting of what's new and what hasn't been done.
Well, thank you very much.
I talk quite fast.
No, you're absolutely fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you.